Namaste. Today I'm going to read Book 12, Chapter 4 on Gayatri Hidaya in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Vakaratana Mahakaya Surya Buddhism. Hari Om Tat Sat. Narada said, O Bhagavan, I have heard from you all about the Kavacha and the mantra of Sri Gayatri. O Deva Deva, O thou the knower of the present, the past and the future, now tell about the Hridaya, the highest, the interior or esoteric essence of the Gayatri, holding which, if one repeats the Gayatri, he acquires all the punya merits. I am desirous to hear this. Narayana said, O Narada, this subject on the Hridaya of Gayatri is explicitly written in the Atharva Veda. Now I will speak on that, the great secret, in detail. Listen, first, consider the Gayatri, the Devi, the mother of the Vedas, as of a cosmic form. Veda Trupa. And meditate all the devas as residing on her body. Now, inasmuch as the Pinda and Brahmanda are similar, consider yourself as of the form of the Devi and meditate within yourself on the Devatas. Thus, the Pandits, the knowers of the Vedas, say this: he is not yet fit to worship the Deva, and he is not an Adhikari as yet, who has not been able to make himself a Deva. Therefore, to establish the knowledge of the oneself, of the oneness of the Deva and himself, he is to meditate the Deva within his body. Thus, O Narada, now I will speak on the Hridaya of Gayatri, knowing which every man becomes able to become all the Devas. Listen. The Rishi of this Gayatri, Hridaya, is Narayana. The Chandas is Gayatri, and Shri Parameshwari Gayatri is the Devata. Perform Nyasya of this as mentioned before, and taking your seat in a lonely place, meditate intently on the Devi with your heart and head well collected. Now I am speaking of the Arthanyasa. Here, meditate on the Devata Dayu, Devata Dayao. On your head, the twin Aswins on the rows of the teeth, the two Sandhyas on your upper and lower lips, the Agni fire within your mouth. Saraswati on the tongue, Brihaspati on the neck, the 8 Vasus on the 2 breasts, the Vayus on the 2 arms, the Paryanya Deva on the heart, Akasa on the belly, Antariksam, the middle space, on the navel, Indra and Agni on the loins, Prajapati, the condensed form, as it were, of Vignana, on the hip joints, the Kalasa, and the Malaya mountains on the 2 thighs, the Visvadevas on the 2 knees, Vishvamitra on the shanks, the sun's northern and southern paths, the Uttarayana and Dakshinayana on the anus, the Pitris on the thighs, the earth on the legs, the Vanaspati on the fingers and toes, the Rishis on the hairs of the body, the Muhurtas on the nails, the planets on the bones, the Ritas, seasons, on the blood and flesh, the Samvat Saras on the Nimisa, twinkling of eye, the sun and the moon, on the day and night respectively. Thinking thus repeat, I take refuge of the divine holy Gayatri, the chief and most excellent one, the thousand-eyed, and I take refuge wholly unto her. Then repeat, I bow down to Tatsaviturvaniniam. I bow down to the rising sun on the east. I bow down to the morning Aditya. I bow down to the Gayatri residing in the morning sun, and I bow down to all. O Narada, whoever recites this Gayatri Hridaya in the morning finds all the sins committed, in the night all destroyed. Whoever recites this in the evening gets his sins of the day all destroyed. Whoever recites this in the evening and in the morning can rest assured to have become free of sins. He gets the fruits of all the tirthas. He is acquainted with all the devas. He is saved. If he has spoken anything that ought not to have been spoken, if he has eaten anything that is not fit to be eaten, if he has chewed or sucked anything that ought not to have been chewed and sucked, if he has done anything that ought not to have been done, and if he has accepted hundreds and thousands of gifts that ought never to have been accepted. The sins incurred by eating with the others in a line cannot touch him. If he speaks lies, he will not be touched by the sins thereof. Even if a non-brahmachari recites this, he will become a brahmachari. O Narada, what more shall I say to you of the results of Gayatri Hridaya than this, that whoever will study this will acquire the fruits of performing 1,000 sacrifices and repeating the Gayatri 60,000 times. In fact, he will get siddhi by this. The Brahmana who daily reads this in the morning will be freed of all the sins and go upwards to the Brahmaloka and is glorified there. This has been uttered by Bhagavan Narayana himself. Here ends the 4th chapter on the 12th book on Gayatri Hridaya in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapalita Kakshmi. Om Tuya Mata Chabita Hari Om Tat Sat.